Crunch time, coming up big when it counts.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Crunch Time, coming up big when it counts. I'm Dom with the great men, Luke, Sauce, and Anthony. How you going, gentlemen?
Good.
Very good.
They're happy to be
Very well,
Very
Dom.
They're all
Very
happy
well.
to be back once again.
Good to be
Luke
back.
is a bit less stressed. He had some exams during the week. You know, they're all done now, so he's back. He's rejuvenated. He's got
I'm
the
ready.
Hawks jersey on. Look at him. Look how happy he is, bro.
We back.
He's so...
I'm ready. I'm ready, boys.
We're full strength squad right now.
Full strength. We'll get straight into it. Let's go. Obviously, Champions League during the week. This morning when we're recording this pod was the first couple of games, and it was PSG defeating Bayern, which I now look like a fool because I said they were going to win the whole thing. Luke is looking pretty good because he said his boys Chelsea were going to win the whole thing, and they're into the final four teams.
Hold on. Did I mention on here that I had? Sorry, did I mention on here that I had a feeling about PSG as well, or I might have said it off camera to other people?
I think you said PSG versus Chelsea in the final.
That's what you've called. That is what you've called.
I'm so happy that's on record. I'm so happy that's on
record.
record.
They cross over, yeah. So they could potentially happen.
Yeah.
So boys, your thoughts? I think what we all wanted. Well, I thought Bayern was going to win, yeah, but we all wanted PSG to get through because there's one guy there that is one step closer to another final, and the explosion, if he wins it, is going to be just insane and out of this world. So your thoughts on this morning and potentials going forward.
Lukey, as the Chelsea supporter, you can go first.
I was going to say, this morning wasn't too good.
Take it away, my friend.
Wasn't too good, but you know what? We're through. That's all that matters. Pulisic, when did Pulisic score? That wasn't on the weekend, was it?
And on the weekend twice.
Yeah, on the weekend twice. Imagine that was that's going to be midweek in the next round, and just imagine what happens to Pulisic prices. On a Wednesday morning here,
hopefully
Pulisic scores a double. Just imagine what happens. Just think about it.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
I mean, Chelsea made it through as they should have. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They beat a team that they should have beat. Look, there you go. Source is nodding because it's just facts. And look, at the end of the day, PSG did very well. They counter-attacking football is amazing, and Mbappe and Neymar were, Mbappe and Neymar. And Mbappe investors, I gotta be honest, there was a couple months ago when we had one of our first pods, first crunch times, and I said, if you bought Mbappe on the day that he scored a hat-trick, you're an idiot. And now I look like the idiot. I can take that. I can cop that on the chin because if you've got Mbappe right now, you're sitting very, very pretty. And over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, as we head into and past the Euro, this could be the craziest run of any player across any sport. And I said that last week, and I'm going to say it again. Mbappe has the potential to go back-to-back Champions League, Euro, and then triple it up with World Cup next year.
Bro, come on. If that happens, if that happens, get out of it.
I'm telling you right now.
Ballon d'Or would surely come with that as well, wouldn't you think?
Let me tell you,
if Champions League and Euro this season,
Look, there's also one other possibility, which we've seen when guys win, is if he does win the Champions League, will a lot of people in the market be thinking, oh, now's the time to sell these cards that I bought low, oversupply. We've seen it before, and that card actually dips. So don't think it's all going to be, rising up.
Here's where I disagree, but this is the only unique situation we have where as soon as he wins Champions League, 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, they're about to play in a world, like a European tournament that the world is going to watch. It's almost like playing NBA Finals, and then 3 weeks later, you've got the NBA Finals again. Like, I don't know if you're selling during that gap between Champions League Final and Euros, just to cash out some money, maybe. But even still, I reckon the hype is still going to be there. But after Euros, it'll dip For sure.
My point was going to be, what happens if he loses the Champions League final again? What happens in that gap between then and Euros? Do you reckon it'll drop?
That makes it interesting.
Yeah, because that's what I was just thinking. I actually
Like at this point
really
now,
know
we're
what's
forecasting
gonna
for
happen
him to win it all. He's going to win
I don't
everything,
think-
right?
I don't
But
think PSG win it. I don't know.
it's
I don't
hard to
think
just
PSG
say
win.
he's going to win everything. Like we know he's a gun. He's a gun, right? But like we can't
There's
just
another
say
10
he's going
players
to
on the
win.
pitch as well that have got to help him.
Facts.
Yeah,
Pretty good ones,
You
but,
know, if he
you
wins
know.
the Champions League,
Look, I'm
bro, if
getting
he wins the
excited.
Champions
You
League,
know,
wins the
you know where I
Euro, wins the
stand.
Ballon d'Or, wins the World Cup, like he's going to be the goat. Like you know, that's what everyone's going to say.
And he'll
that.
turn like what 23 the year after. Then
I'm
So
being
what do you
serious.
That's
like everyone will say
crazy.
this guy's the goat. Like
Yeah.
let's be realistic. Yeah, the way sports is now and the way people throw things out, like no one's ever going to be better than Cristiano Ronaldo. But besides the point, you know, like
Ant's face.
Look at Ant. Every time he just tunes out. Every time, I love it. But you know what I'm saying? Like he does then hold. Like he literally starts dangling these international titles over the head of these guys, yeah, that have that status, and he can literally just hold it here like a carrot to Bugs Bunny, man, and literally be like, "Have a look what I've got, and you haven't," and potentially they're never ever going to get that.
That's one thing that he has. How many Champions Leagues Ronaldo have? 4, 5, 6?
5, I think.
Yeah.
5 or 6. Yeah.
So it's like
6.
I don't know. Would you rather have 1 European Cup or would you rather have 5 Champions Leagues and almost winning the league that many times?
Yeah, well, Ronaldo
all
also
different-
does have a Euro as well.
Yeah, in all different leagues as well.
Yeah, but
Like, he hasn't
He's
just
still
won
got
the
a
league
long
in
way to
one
go.
league.
He's still got a long way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
what
We need to
I'm
remember
trying to say.
Still young. He's already got the World Cup, so he doesn't have to win that ever again now. Now he just
Yeah.
needs to win Champions Leagues and go to different leagues and win those.
Yeah.
Win a couple Ballon d'Ors, and he will be the GOAT. That's literally. I know we've just set in stone his legacy in literally 30 seconds, but that's literally all he has to do.
This is the potential he has. This is the potential. All right,
the potential. Yeah.
Tomorrow, lads, there's 2 more games. There's 2 more games that we still got to talk about. There's still, the big dog. We've seen a bit of beef this week between a couple of on the socials, Azuro cards and in Haaland we trust, and Azuro absolutely giving it to Haaland himself. I mean, he hasn't scored in these last 6 games, including club and country. But what do we think tomorrow? They're down 2-1. They go back to their home pitch. How much of a home it really is? There's no fans, so not much. But if there's ever a time that Haaland needs to step up for his team and for investors of his cards, because his cards have gone up significantly. Now, if Dortmund's run ends tomorrow, what happens to his card prices?
First of all, I'm team Azuro all day, every day.
I think we
Without
all
question.
are.
Without question. Let me get that
we all
out
are.
there right then and there. He can clip that and we'll send it straight to him.
Yeah, we're getting unfollowed by In Haaland We Trust.
That's fine. I'm willing to take that.
Azuro is our guy. Azuro is
Azuro
our
is our
guy.
guy.
Get behind him.
I'm actually interested here for you, Ant, to answer this, because if Haaland actually is Zlatan 2.0 or Zlatan Light, as you've said, a month now, yeah? He will win them this game tomorrow.
Yeah,
he will win them.
Put them on their back. I think Dortmund have a solid young team. I really like Jude Bellingham. I really think he's going to be a good player and he's going to have a good rookie card this year. But City is City, and I think City they got a pretty not commanding lead. They're up 2-1. Dortmund have the away goal, so they might be able to get a goal and then kind of like scrape through type of thing.
I think Dortmund have some injuries. Someone was mentioning to me before, I think Dortmund's got a fair few injuries this week as well. I don't think Sancho is not playing from what I've been told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't confirm that. I didn't see it myself. I saw
the better in me says City should clean up, and
I think City go through as well.
They're too commanding with Pep. They're just too dominant to let this slip. But if Haaland is Haaland, that everyone's talking about, Haaland prices are more than Mbappe's. Just to put that out there, Haaland tops Chrome are more than Mbappe. Base to base, Haaland top Chrome Bundesliga is not only more, it's double. It's $4,000.
Double. What's the pop on it though? Because I think that might play a little bit of a part in it.
Well, you've got the thing is with Mbappe, you got the 2018 and the Topps Chrome. If you go Topps Chrome to Topps Chrome, they're almost the same pot.
Okay.
And Haaland is
That's
double.
stupid.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
If Haaland gets knocked out tomorrow, I'm just going to remind everyone, and I've been saying this, Haaland gets knocked out tomorrow, he doesn't really play competitive football on in a competition level until next year, until next season. He's not playing in the Euros. He gets knocked out of Champions League. I'm pretty sure Dortmund's they're coming like 7th or something in the Bundesliga. He's not in any competitive match until next season, where he might be with another team. So tomorrow's a big day for all the Dortmund boys, especially all the Haaland boys, especially in Haaland we trust.
Yeah, I like it. And then obviously you got your boys in that last game as well against Madrid. Any miracles?
I mean, we do it every year. We do it. I'm not putting it past us.
I mean, you'd have to pull out a performance, let's be honest, because you've been pretty average in the league in the last few, and so you'd be pulling out something special, let's be honest. But I'm not going to say that you can't do it. I'm not going to count you out, because you definitely got the quality to step up and make it happen. But it'll be interesting to see what does happen. But yeah, for the other game, I'm City all the way. I want to see Haaland buried. I want to see his card prices come back down to where they really should be. And
facts.
I
mean, come on, let's be honest. I'm
on the same page. I think the hype is like real for his potential and what he is as a player, but his hype in the card market is not real at the moment. People are just seeing him because he's come on everyone's radar. His card went to golden auction, so obviously he's in everyone's face. Everyone's like, Haaland. They're going crazy. You didn't know who he was a year ago, 6 months ago. Unless you're
3 weeks
us
ago.
and people that follow soccer, but legit, no one even knew who he was. And then it's just the hype. It's like the hype beast card of the soccer world.
Yeah, well, it's literally to the point where this is what's happening. Yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm in the Sports Card Investor Facebook group, and you get people posing questions. Someone's like, I'm looking at buying some soccer cards. Who should I buy? And people are like, oh, these are the young guys. And it's just like, they get thrown the name Haaland, Mbappe, Foden, who else? Sancho. It's like it's the same names, yeah. But there's also no guarantees with a lot of these guys. Think about how many guys they thought, if we probably went back to the day when Wilfred Zaha got transferred to United, there would have been so much hype back then. He was young, yeah. He was like 21, 22, and then he ended up leaving, and he's career panders out, and he never really fulfills that. So what's to say that one of these guys is you don't know. It's just as rare as basketball for those guys to go on and have a great career. And, if you want to be holding their cards in 10 years' time, you want them to have won things and, achieve stuff, nationally as well as at club level, right? Unless it's going to be like someone of Messi and Ronaldo's ilk, which, if you're telling me that, Haaland's not that type of player, so where is he going to fit? And your comparison to Ibrahimovic, and if he turns out, 1/3 as good as, 3/4 as good as Ibrahimovic, that's pretty good. Ibrahimovic's not a shit player.
I want to put that on my story this week. The amount of people that messaged and just said that exact comment. If it turns out half as good as Ibra, if it turns out 1/3 as good as Ibra. And I realized just how good Ibra is. And how disrespected he really is. 100%. But yeah, that's really it. Haaland needs to turn into a prolific goal scorer, and he's got potential. Don't get me wrong. I know we're shitting on Haaland right now, but his prices to me don't justify their place in the market right now.
What if he goes to the Prem next season? Yeah, and he goes to your boys. He goes to Liverpool, yeah. And
I'm buying everything.
And he has a season like my guy Timo Werner.
Oh, it's over. He'll get buried, bro. That's when you do buy all these cards.
That's when you buy his cards.
That's when you realize how much harder the Premier League is than the Bundesliga.
The Bundesliga, yeah.
And I got a quick one, yeah. Based on that hype beast comment that I made about Haaland, yeah. Because he is that hype beast type guy in the soccer market. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this just quickly, but because he's the hype beast and he is the sought after Jordans as sneakers, because all eyes are on Nike type of that Jordan sneaker, all eyes then go to the sneakers that are before it or that come after it. So his hype beast as Haaland, in my opinion, is the reason why Sancho, Bellingham, and Reina and Mokoko, guys like that, and they're great players, yeah. I'm not knocking them for being bad players, but I'm saying because he's getting all the attention and he's surrounded by these guys, that's why they're getting more attention that they would have got, that they wouldn't have got if Haaland wasn't there.
I agree with you. I agree with the second two. I don't know. Sancho, not so much. Sancho, I feel but
that's why I'm saying, like, they're getting more attention. All the eyes are on Dortmund. So everyone's watching Dortmund. Like I'm saying, Sancho is a great player. He may or may not have had that hype anyway, but he's like the guy. So everyone's looking at him as God in the hobby. So they're going to see who's surrounding him, and just happens to be they're all young kids and they're all dominating. So they're like, "Oh, what's their rookie card?" They've only been in for a couple seasons, some of them. So I don't know. I want
to also just end it on this, but every year there's like going to be one of these rookies that pop up in soccer. It's not like basketball. It is like basketball in the sense that there's always like the number one draft pick, whatever. But in soccer, they just come out of nowhere. Like, it's just Haaland did actually come out of nowhere. He was playing for Salzburg. He scores a hat trick in a Champions League game, and all of a sudden, everyone loves Haaland. Everyone wants to know about Haaland. Mbappe, I feel like, came out of nowhere, and it's gonna keep happening, and it's gonna take. Because the hobby and the market's so new, it's going to take a long time before people start to figure out what's true and what's going to actually turn out and what's not. So,
very true.
One thing they had in common is they both broke onto the scene on playing Champions League.
That's facts.
Well, but that proves the point of what Ant was saying and everyone else has been saying is, like, because they're playing on that the Champions League, the Euros, and the World Cup. And whatever, the American Cup or whatever that league is, the Copa America, that's the one. Sorry, I wasn't playing there. But because they're international level type, like Champions League is an international level type tournament, you can say, yeah, because everyone around the world is going to watch it because the best teams in Europe. That's why they watch it. Because it's of that nature and that status. If you're doing stuff like you said, Sauce, killing it in a Champions League, all the eyes are on you. So that's why everyone starts talking about it. It's not just an individual league where, not for anything, the Bundesliga is like a niche league to support and watch for a lot of people. But they'll watch the Champions League.
But if you're ahead of the curve, you're looking at alternate leagues. You're looking at the leagues where these guys. So this is where it comes back to if you want to get ahead of the curve in the card market, you need to follow the alternate leagues. So the league you should be following the French Division League, the Second League, the French First League. You should be following like the Austrian League. You should be following some of the leagues around the world where they pinch some of these players from that aren't the main leagues. You know what I mean? So
A-League.
Definitely not the A-League. You should definitely not be following the A-League. If you buy A-League cards, you deserve to sink in the market.
I don't think they make them anymore, which is a shame, to be honest. Which is a shame.
Oh, here we go. He's got his Ninkovic. Don't you have a Ninkovic?
No, I think Splash has it. Ninkovic auto, yeah?
Don't ask Ninkovic about me at Hume City's home ground and FFA Cup game when Avondale played him, mate. He turned around and may have abused me because I was giving him so much shit from the fence.
I love it.
Oh, shit.
I gave it to his life, bro. He got beaten the whole night as well.
Some of those people that go to Avondale, they love giving it to the opposition team.
Well, I'm one of them. So.
You're one of them, are you?
That's the best at local football. That's the best.
Avondale games, and you should hear some of the stuff that gets said.
Oh, this is an interesting revelation. I did not know that, Lukey. I'm there literally every week.
So, are you serious?
Yeah, every week, bro.
Wow, we'll talk about it off camera.
Definitely will. Definitely will. All right, let's move on, Select, until Anth might find this card, this Ninkovic card, but Select versus Prizm versus Topps Chrome. Any sport, soccer, NBA, NFL. Give us your thoughts, boys. Which product are you going for? It is becoming a debate very quickly now between Prizm and Select. Is Select going to overrun Prizm? And then people are saying, well, if you go look at Topps Chrome, even the old stuff of basketball, Then you look at like the Topps Chrome products for, well, they've done it for F1s now. They've done it for, Bundesliga, and they've got some soccer leagues over at Topps. And they're like, oh, their cards look way better than some of the Prizm cards. So personal preference across the board, what's your product?
It depends. I think it depends what year, to be honest, for me. Because, like, there's some years of Prizm that I hate. Like, 2017 is shit. I'm just going to put it out there. 2017 Prizm sucks.
Love it.
So, like, 2018 Select. I hate 2018 Select. That's the one. That's Lamar Jackson's year as well, isn't it? 2018?
Yeah.
Luka, that one's shit. But then there's some Topps Chrome that I don't like as well. 2017 Topps Chrome I don't like. This year's Topps Chrome I didn't like either. So it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit hard. Are we going on design or are we going on value?
Design.
You can go value,
design, whatever you want. Personal preference. Exactly,
But yeah, I was just saying there's always some designs that I don't like. There 3 of them, one from each brand that I haven't liked over the years. Value, I don't know. Well, Prizm looks like it's being overproduced these days. That gets thrown around a lot, how Prizm, the pop at PSA is so much higher for the last few years compared to, say, 2017 and before. Even 2017 was quite low. I remember for Tatum and stuff like that compared to your earlier stuff. Yeah, compared to, like, what, Trey, Luka, Zion, Jar, and now what LaMelo and Anthony Edwards are going to get.
Overproduced and overgraded as well.
Overgraded,
I think because Prizm is like... Prizm, when I first came into the hobby, was the thing. Prizm base Zion, Jar, and Prizm base Trey and Luka. That was the shit. Like, everyone would buy them, grade them, sell them. That's it. And now, like, it's kind of refreshing. Select looks good, especially for Jar and Zion. Those Select Zions look great. They're starting to get some love.
The new Select NFL, have you seen some of the fire being poured out of that? Like, it's nice.
That box is decent.
Did it end up dropping retail, by the way?
It is. That is the word.
I think that'll be interesting for the pops of Selects going forward. We think it's going to be more. How much of it they make?
Well, that just gives
what
me...
sort of level
retail
we're going to see.
In Australia or retail in general?
Well, just retail in general. Like, I mean, that was the word that I'm not 100% sure if that's confirmed. Anyone out there knows that. Like, I mean, DM,
I remember seeing that flyer.
I made
a post on it a while ago.
Yeah, right. There was
saying I don't know if it ended up actually happening, but
we don't know 100%. But I mean, if it did happen, it'd be interesting to see if they bring that over to NBA. We've yet to confirm that. I mean, I'll dig around and see if anyone knows that that's the case. But I think the Select football, what they've done with some of those cards is absolutely fire, and I hope they bring some of those variants over to the basketball. And I'll be trying to get some of that Select because I've been stocking that 2020 NFL draft year Optic Prizm. Already got a bit of stash, sealed wax, so I'll be looking to add some Select to that as well and stash that away and see where that's at. I just think that draft class is going to be one of those guys who's going to just kick off in the next 3 seasons, and it's going to bump all those box prices up, I think. So, but personally, I think I'm a Select person. Like, I've always liked Select. I've called it for ages. I hated being like a follower and just going down the Prizm route, but I ended up buying Prizm because it's much easier to flip. Everyone wants it, so you can flip it easier. But Select's design is just better. And if I've got like a Select or a Prizm card and I'm only going to keep one of a guy, I'm keeping the Select one. If it's like a base card or a variant, I like them better. There are a few Prizm cards which I like, but I think just overall in general, Select. And I like the fact that it wasn't a retail product, it was only a hobby product, kept the rarity down. But if that does change in the future, I guess I'm not worried because I think it's a good opportunity for people who couldn't buy the hobby stuff to get into Select and get their hands and be able to rip some product, and then hopefully that gets more interest in Select, which is probably what it needs. The more hands it's being able to be put in, the more interest in the product it will get, and then that might even drive up some of the previous year of Select where there's more rarity to it. So I'm like thinking that it might be a play picking up the Select from the last 3 years, 4 years. because it was only a hobby release. If that
You're
is
talking about sealed
well, no, not sealed. No, I'm talking about like buying the cards, right?
cards.
Because I think more interest in Select in general might mean that more people who didn't really buy Select before might go back and buy previous years. So I might drive the prices up. I don't know. This is all speculation, but like I'm thinking maybe that happens. I don't know, but I like Select.
Mm.
And your
Interesting.
thoughts?
I think the one we're leaving out is Source gave a really good brief on Select. I do have started to like Select a lot, in terms of buying it and then seeing its potential and like to flip it and stuff. But Topps Chrome, and I'll revert it back to soccer because Topps Chrome's starting to like take over in soccer. Prizm EPL and Topps Chrome Bundesliga or Champions League, Topps Chrome to me looks better, especially the last few years. The last year's release was pretty average, but the 2017 Topps Chrome is beautiful. 2018 Topps Chrome is beautiful. These are the Champions League ones. The one with Haaland actually isn't as appealing, but if they go back to that really glossy look as opposed to what they've done recently they've almost kind of not copied Prizm, but haven't made it as shiny as what it used to look. But I think Topps Chrome's a really big play in soccer. I think it's really got a lot of value, and so yeah, I'm leaning towards buying up a lot of Select, especially for the show coming up. I think Select could be a really big thing, especially for the next few months as we're heading to playoffs. People aren't going to just drop all their money on one or two big Prizm cards when they can buy 3, 4, 5 of the same player in a better grade, just of a different brand. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a hobby-only brand, it's such a premium and lower pop and everything like that. So I love it. I love that Prizm's getting some slack. You know what I mean? It's times are changing.
I mean, they added another variant. There's even more variants than last year to the variants. You know, if you were a rainbow collector, like Panini's pretty much slapped you in the face in the last 2 years by adding so many different variants to the rainbow. It's impossible. It's impossible to collect a rainbow now. Unless it's like it has to be like a spud. You know what I mean? It has to be. You have to be collecting like freaking. I don't know if they put like a throwback and put a Gauskas in the set, you'd have to collect him. They didn't only have a chance of actually getting, but it's just ridiculous.
I think I'm going Select. That's my personal preference. I was kind of the same thought process when Source and I actually discussed it at the beginning when Source came into the hobby. He's like, Select. I'm like, you know what? I actually like Select more than Prizm. And I go, people actually get a bit of flack for that. They're like, oh, yeah, but Prizm. And I agree with Source. He summed it up beautifully. It's like, because the value was in the Prizm cards. That's why, when people get onto something in the hobby, they drive it as much as they can. But I like the fact that they got nice cards. They got like the tie-dyes are sick. I love that in some of the Select products. They got the Zebra, the Tiger Stripe cards. They're awesome. They got snakeskin in the NFL Select product. I saw Lil People, one of those. They look off their head. Like it looks so sick, man. I was like, this is what you want, some variation. I'm with Source. Like if in Prizm there's that many variations that it's absolutely getting out of control. But there's a lot of talk, obviously, about the Prizm and Select's going to overtake it. In the end of the day, all I'm going to say on the matter is, as what I've said with a lot of things that happen in this hobby, the market mover is us, not anyone else. So if we want it to be Select to take over Prizm, it's going to happen because we are the market movers, us in the hobby. Full stop, blanket, that is it. Panini's not doing shit. Topps ain't doing shit like with their products. We are the barometer. We make shit happen. That's why PSA is PSA. That's why like HGA is coming up to become HGA. It's because of us. That's why Select's now getting a crazy run. That's why Topps Chrome Soccer is much loved, a lot more than a lot of the other soccer products out there that are produced by Panini. It's because of us. We are literally the market movers. So that's why I'm going based. I've always liked Select, but that's why I think Select is going to be probably the best.
I love that.
So,
We are, and people need to realize that as well. Like,
yeah.
I'm seeing it now with Topps Kick and the Panini digital. Like, there's no value in those. You know what I mean? It's not an NFT. I don't want to bring up NFTs or Top Shot and stuff like that, but
Here we go.
it's not.
Here
At the
we
end of the
go.
day, it's not. It's just it's like companies. It's the same as buying FIFA packs, if you want to put it bluntly, except they don't disappear after 1 year type of thing. And people are just bumping them up, and they are not boosting the price, but they're promoting it not in a malicious way, but they're promoting it to be like, look, I'm enjoying collecting this, and so the price goes up. And
we do have the power, and we've always said that. So whatever we want to get a run up, we'll give it a run up. Like, that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
If someone big enough in the hobby goes and says this is what we're collecting, tomorrow everyone's going out and collecting it. Let's be realistic. That's the way it works. It's how it works in other hobbies that aren't sports trading cards. It could be absolutely anything. If it's like stock market, this and that, blah blah blah, like anything that's collectible or whatnot of the like. If a celebrity or someone big in that department or that niche, doesn't matter. They say something, the next day everyone that supports that person is going to go and buy it, and that it then flips the market on its head. So Select will become the premier product when it comes to basketball eventually.
If I don't want to use Logan Paul as an example because he's Logan Paul, but if Logan Paul came out tomorrow and said, "I love Chronicles," what do you reckon? What do you reckon happens then? If Logan Paul comes out and says, "I love Chronicles," no, he doesn't love Chronicles. He loves Luminance. Luminance is his favorite card.
I'll tell you what happens. I'm going to call Stone Cold Steve Austin up, not Kevin Owens. I'm going to get Stone Cold to give Logan Paul the stun. That's what I'm going to do.
That was great, by the way. That was a great bit of wrestling.
I'm surprised when he got stunned by Kevin Owens, he didn't throw a whole bunch of graded Pokemon cards in there. PSA cards. You go,
I'm surprised he wasn't wearing a PSA. Oh, no, he had one of those PSA backpacks on. Those PSA backpacks?
Yeah.
Surprised he had one of those in the ring.
His face is just popping up everywhere it can, isn't it?
He's everywhere, man. That guy is everywhere.
Both of them Paul brothers. This weekend. His brother's fighting this weekend against Ben
is he
Askren,
actually?
So you're not going to be able to escape.
I hope he gets knocked out.
At Hobby Talk next month, he's going to be guest speaker Logan Paul, PSA ambassador.
Honestly.
That's what it's going to be.
The Hobby hangout.
Giving out free hats.
Logan Paul.
Chucking out PSA caps off the stage.
Oh. Funny story about that Panini Dunk app, Ant, is there's people out there saying that it could potentially get transition to NFTs, whether Panini does that. I mean, and people have emailed Panini and they've gotten a response back saying that's their plan to do in the future. Now, I'm not really sure. Look, I've dabbled in it a little bit. Like, I've bought like a few, $5 cards and things off eBay. Like, I've spent a little bit of money on it. In terms of like farming, you can just farm coins and open packs. But, I was trying to make a deal for like some numbered cards on the platform, and the guy was like trying to overcharge me. I'm like, bro, like at the end of the day, like, not for anything, like you're trying to make me pay 100 USD for these 2 auto cards, right? Now, I understand they're numbered and they're rare on the platform, but there's nothing, even though Panini has said they're going to move it to NFT and that's what people have emailed and got back, they still haven't confirmed anything. So I'm not going to like overpay for these cards. And, I walked away from the deal because like I didn't really want to pay more than $15 for the card, and even paying $15 for a digital card. Although the card was numbered to like 15 and it was like a flawless variant, I was like, no, I don't really want to pay more than $15, 15 USD, 20 max, and he wanted $50 each card. And I said, look, mate, like, there's no guarantees here that they're even going to turn this into a platform that's backed by NFTs. So I'm not going to waste the money. And I was thinking, like, I'd rather go buy a VV, drop NFT that costs $50, and literally on the secondary market they're 300, 400 straight away, and the marketplace hasn't even opened. So when that happens, these will also go up even more as people transact them. So I was like thinking, there's so much better ways to buy or invest in other NFT projects if you want to go that digital route, right? If you don't want to go the digital route, freaking buy a sports card, buy Pokemon cards, whatever, buy tangible stuff. But I'm talking about, like, I want to dabble in the NFT digital investment, that side. There's better projects out there than those.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't know if surely they wouldn't just up and say, listen, guys, we're turning all these into NFTs. Whatever you got. And whoever's got the one of one Mbappe's, you're a millionaire. Congratulations. Surely they wouldn't do that.
Well, that's what the only way that they do that is if they don't allow, they make it that the transactions or whatever happen on the platform so they can take a cut of it. Because at this current point in time, all the transactions are happening on eBay, and they don't get a cut of that, right? And it's just a trade within the thing in the game. So they need to be able to find a way to get a cut from all the sales. That's the only way that they allow that. If that's the case, by all means, why wouldn't you do it? Because then you've got the marketplace. You take 2% per transaction. You'd still rake it in.
Yeah.
Correct. Beautiful. All right, boys. We had NFL Select next, but we touched on that in the last segment. Yeah, it looks really good and positive vibes coming out of the hobby on that product. So we're going to end it off. Fire or flame? Do we have anything this week to fire up or completely flame? I've got a nice flame. We'll probably talk about this.
I got a fire, but it relates back to what I was looking for, when we were just talking about the homegrown heroes. I went to school with this kid right here.
Is it guy?
Daniel Arzani.
Arzani, really?
Yeah, went to school together.
No way.
Couple years younger than me.
Yeah.
And we all know, but I don't know if the audience knows. He was playing for Australia in the World Cup. He was probably one of our best players. Let's be real. Like every time he touched the ball, he was electric. And I bought 5 Copa America stickers for like $1.50, and they shipped to me from like Argentina, somewhere like that. But that's my fire because obviously it's a personal thing. Went to my school, know him, and yeah.
Have you got a bit of background on him for listeners and viewers? Where's he at now? At the moment, what's he up to?
He just transferred, actually. I should probably double check, but at school he was always a gun player. He's a bit of a character. He's got good banter. I remember that. He's now at, I can't even pronounce the name, Aharis Gymnastic Foreign, which is a club in the Danish league. So,
because he was at Celtic for a bit, wasn't he? That was his big
Celtic,
move.
But he had a really big injury.
Yeah.
Did his ACL, didn't he?
ACL, yeah. So he sat on the sidelines, and obviously had to leave that club because he was injury prone after that. Now he's building his way back up, but he's still young. He's what?
How old is he? 21? 22?
99, so he's 22.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Very
young. Especially it doesn't matter where he plays. It doesn't matter where he plays because he should be starting for Australia in any international competition. And if he doesn't, well, it just is a testimony to how putrid our system is here in this country. So, but he definitely should be playing. No, I'm being serious because he's actually a gun.
He's a gun player.
On the Australian national team, though, there was a time when I think was it when Andrew was the coach that players used to come back here to get game time because he used to prefer players from the A-League. Was that Postecoglou era or was it Graham Arnold?
No, that was the Postecoglou era. He preferred players that were playing regularly. They weren't just sitting on the bench then trying to come play for the national team, which I agree with him. Probably the better route to go down that. I like that. I like that play. I watched many of his games. Obviously, he was in the A-League for a while. I used to frequent, victory games all the time. So seeing him play for a few times against us. He was always electric, man. He was always electric.
So he was at was it Hart back then
City.
when he was playing there? It was City there. Then. Yeah.
So he played for City. So he's got that link with Manchester City because they own the club. But he was good in the A-League. He was great.
Yeah, he was good.
It's easy to stand out in it.
Yeah. You go from my school and then to the A-League. It's basically the same level.
Whack. This is going whack.
Start a victory on the weekend, to be honest. The way they're going.
Oh, they're struggling.
They're rubbish. I'm starting right wing for victory this week. I'm telling you.
They're putrid, mate. Mate, we could have a podcast on how to restructure the whole entire Australian grassroots program for soccer, and we probably do a better job than the.
This is not even
FFA.
card. This is not even card related now. My dad was saying the other day, Victory MPL team played Preston. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he reckons it was packed, and the live stream had a few K people in it. I reckon there was more people watching that. He was saying there's more people watching that game than the A-League game, which was, I think, Brisbane and MacArthur. There was more people watching that MPL game.
I was actually talking to someone at the Avondale game on the weekend, and they said they reckon he runs one of the the major MPL podcasts and soccer podcasts here in Victoria. I'm pretty sure it goes all around the country.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about it off thing.
Yeah, but I think he was saying there was about 4,500 people at that game.
At the game, yeah. It was packed.
At the Preston game. And Preston's actually good.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So
not card related at all.
Not card related, but a bit off topic. We're just talking about, for any international listeners, we're talking about a bit of local soccer, football.
We're just talking about our national team, and it's shit. As simple as that. Bring back the Dukes.
Our national team's just as good as has just as good of chance as Norway does and Haaland does to make it into a World Cup final. Which is none, right?
We've got less,
none.
What are you talking about, Sauce, mate? We could play a starting 11 against just Haaland. There'd be no goalkeeper in the goals, and he still kick 50 against us, mate. You'll do what we did to whatever it was, Fiji that time when we beat him 31-0, whatever that country was. Doesn't matter, mate.
Archie Thompson got 13 goals or some shit.
Big shit.
All right.
What a legend.
All right. Yeah. I've got a fire. So my fire is, right. So anyone who's, everyone knows all about the Tops merger, and they're going to start pushing NFTs and things. Well, if anyone's not aware, right. So there's if you go to the website, tops.wax.io, right. That's going to take you to it's going to forward you onto a Tops website where they've got NFTs that you can buy directly from Tops. Now, considering the licenses that Tops has, I feel like there's going to be some sort of NFTs that are going to be revolved around Formula One, baseball, some other licenses that they've currently got. So this is just the infancy of their NFT platform. So I would say they've partnered up with Wax. Wax is the coin that they're partnered up with. Now, the Wax coin at this point in time is this is a cryptocurrency, is 0.23 cents. So it's pretty low. It's pretty low. I mean, it is up considerably, but which other coin isn't up? But my fire is just having a look at this space. These companies are going to push this digital space severely. If you're able to invest in some of these crypto coins, and I'm not even talking like jumping on the NFT craze, because there'll be people that do that. But buying the coins that allows those NFTs to get transacted when potentially your coin could go up. So having a look, if you've never invested into cryptocurrencies, I mean, start doing your research, and you might be able to invest into this cryptocurrency called Wax, and potentially that
I like it.
might go up. But yeah,
cool.
It's a bit of one of left field. It still has to do within the hobby as these. Whether people like it or not, you're going to have to start accepting the fact that these companies are going to push these digital assets.
What was that website called?
So it was called.
Give it to them again. It's important.
So
Tops.wax.io.
Correct. And that will forward you to a site that's called Tops GPK.io. And I think eventually they will add more stuff to this site where you can buy other NFTs. So you might want to dabble in that sort of stuff. But I'll be interested. The big thing is you've got these NFTs, but if you're investing in the cryptocurrency Wax, that's also got other projects on it. It doesn't just rely on the Tops one, the Tops license. They've got all other projects that are running on that blockchain as well. So you've got multiple things going on in that blockchain. So you're not just relying on these Tops, but I think that once Tops, starts pushing the baseball stuff and, maybe F1 NFTs and what other licenses they have, I think, you could see a rise in the price of the cryptocurrency, which is Wax, WAX, it's called.
I like it.
And anyone who doesn't know where to look these up, you go to coinmarketcap.com. Coinmarketcap.com, and you type Wax in the top corner in the search bar, and then it will. It's a little orange like a gold coin. Looks like a bit like a gold coin, and that's what you go into, and then you can find out all the data that you want about it.
Very interesting.
Nice.
All right, though.
Lukey, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. Mine's a quick one. So we've seen how I remember Anth talked about it. I don't know if I've used this one before. I don't think I have. Anth a few weeks ago was talking about his Mbappe new era insert. Yeah. Another insert that I really like. I like the look of it, and I think that it could have a similar sort of run, in price and stuff like that. It probably already has, to be honest, but still, I'm going to say it anyway. Is the Future Stars insert from Topps Chrome. I'm talking soccer specifically. That's what I've been looking at a lot recently when I've had a chance. But yeah, I really like the design. It's usually an early card of the player because future stars. So I think those might be a play, especially if someone does well, at the Euros or the World Cup, not World Cup, the Champions League coming up. That could be a play. There's usually, I don't know, I've seen a few that I don't know if they got one as Bundesliga, one as Champions League, but I've seen some double ups of a few players. Like Pulisic has got two. He's got a 2017 one and a 2018 one. I think Sterling might have two as well. Sancho maybe two as well. So just be careful.
Mbappe's got his big one.
He's got the one, yeah. That's 17, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
17.
Yeah. Rashford's got the one as well, 17. Yeah, they're usually pretty stacked, and it's cool insert, and I don't think there's many of them graded from what I saw last time. So you can get them raw, or you can't grade at the moment PSA, but if you can get one already graded at a good price, or even a raw one, worth a look, I reckon.
I like it. Very nice. All right, boys, you were all fire, and I'm going to be the flame. And I've been waiting. We did our double coverage podcast on Tuesday. So as I say to Source every week, there's always a nice gem that drops on a Wednesday when we're meant to do our podcast. But obviously, when we do it earlier, the good thing comes out on the Wednesday. So I said it. I've been saying it all week. I've been saying it for a while now as well, just subtly, but I just put myself out there and said, you know what, stuff it. It's going to be hopefully, well, not hopefully, but it's going to be facts unless they make a change. But I loved it this morning. Saucy shared it on our socials. But it was just great to see the absolute farce that BGS has become. And you know what? I'm loving it because I said it. They have been reluctant to make any change to their company. They don't give a rat's ass about their consumers and their collectors at the moment. You know what? Literally, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They look like an absolute shambles, and it literally has become farcical.
What happened, Doma? Sorry, I missed it.
So they graded a card upside down, and they gave it a BGS, what was it, Source, a 5?
Fucking hell.
They've lost their shit.
5,
so, you know
5.5.
Language, but fucking hell.
I wish them all the best, and I'll say it once again. And this is the big whack. I'll say it one time again and one time only. I'm probably never going to say it again. I'm just going to rehash clips of me saying this. But you having history in the hobby, you can't rely on that anymore. It doesn't mean shit to me anymore. It's not a way out. Be better. Do better and become better. Because you're literally falling behind. And I said it. You keep going down this trend. By the end of the year, you potentially will not be number 2. It'll be HGA. And if you don't smarten up very quickly, CSG, they're getting a lot of clout at the moment and a lot of business. They'll overtake you as well. So you'll be on 4th on the pecking order, and you'll be playing catch up.
Yeah, there was a few more things that they're doing there that was involved in that post, which I'll clear up here, Doma, as well. Is just about what they're actually doing is if you're sending in a card to get re-slabbed, right? So you're sending it in to get re-slabbed. There's a damage to the slab. They're actually, when they crack that card, they're actually regrading the card. So they're not just re-slabbing it with the existing grade on it. They're regrading it, then re-slabbing it. Now, obviously, in the past, there's been some issues with stuff that they've graded. So maybe they're, if you're sending in a 9.5 that's getting cracked and regraded because of the chip, it's chipped on the slab, there's a potential you could get that back an 8.5 or a 9. You don't get back that 9.5 grade. So
there should be a warning when they do that.
Well, this is what people are saying. They've just decided to do that on their own accord, which is fine. They can decide to do that, but notify people that that's what you're doing. Don't just go ahead and start doing that stuff, and which is what's happening. And people have just started getting back different grades to what they sent it in to get something re-slabbed, and they're getting back a different grade.
Exactly.
They didn't warn people that they were going to do this. They just started doing it, right?
And what, you're telling me you expected that from BGS?
Well,
their customer service.
Yeah, I know.
PSA.
That's what I said.
We bag PSA. We bag PSA for their customer service, but BGS is horrendous. They are shit. I'll tag them in this post when it goes out. I couldn't care less if they see it. They didn't know they are behind the 8 ball severely. Severely.
The crazy thing is what happens to their cards. Because as their brand value goes down, you know what I mean?
But we had kind of had a discussion with someone else we did a special pod during the week with someone, and we said the same thing, and I just straight out I'm really passionate and really pissed off about this, because it's I hate excuses, without action. I don't like that. Stop pissing in the collectors' pockets. We will have as we said, we've got the power. We'll just turn around and say, all right, their business is going down, their slabs are being devalued. No one's going to go buy them and say, you know what, there's going to be a run-up on BGS slabs again. If they're not going to do anything, why are you going to buy them? They've got to pull their head from out of their ass and start doing some work.
I wonder if they know this, though. I wonder if this gets... Well, surely this fuck-up has to get back to them.
This is the thing that's annoying. They knew this about the fake cards, They knew about it, and then 3 months after they were first aware of it, they came out and said, we worked out how the fake cards were done and blah, 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 blah. And then I'm looking at companies like HGA and people saying, what about this and what about that? And within 24 hours, the latest I've seen them is literally 3 days. They're giving the answers and clearing up all the shit. It can't take you 3 hours, 3 months to come up with the answer. And you come up with this PowerPoint presentation and you share your screen when they did it on all the stuff. And then the collectors still weren't happy, bro. They were just but you haven't cleared up this thing and you haven't cleared up that thing. Come on. You got to be professional, man. You're running a business. People are looking at you and laughing at you at the moment. I'm saying this because I know they've got the history, but I want their history to actually stand for something, because you're just going to become like an old wives' tale, mate, in literally 10 years' time. I'll be I remember a good old time before the card boom, when they could get away with murder, that BGS was the best. Since the card boom, what have they done? Mm-hmm. Tell me, what have they done? We've been in this for 1.5 years. They've done nothing.
It just shows how if you don't innovate as a business, then you're just gonna die, really.
And they got, and let's be realistic. They got a hall pass from Ken Golden, because the only time they've been relevant in the last 3 months, 4 months, is the fact that they're on Golden Auction. BGS slabs are selling.
BGS 10.
But they've done no marketing. They've done nothing. They literally got a get out of jail free card from Golden Auctions. If they weren't appearing on Golden Auctions, what would you have heard from BGS?
He's done more work for BGS than BGS has done for themselves.
That's exactly right. Mm. Come on. Why are we, or why am I having to say this? They're getting paid the big bucks and they're sitting on their hands doing jack shit.
Maybe that's why.
Are we the ones having to tell this,
maybe that's why, though, because they're getting paid the big bucks.
I'm interested to see what happens next 3 months, because I think with PSA not taking in submissions, BGS, you can already expect the submissions to come back. Who knows when? Who knows when?
But even that in itself, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people are gonna get fed up.
Yeah, 100%. But even that in itself, you would have thought, all right, the top dog is closing its doors, except for a $300 and $600 sub. So the top dog's closing its doors. We are technically
number two.
In everyone's minds, they're number 2. And they've done nothing. SGC...
No, in their eyes, they're still number 1, Domo. That's probably what they think.
That's probably the problem.
That's the issue.
They're living in 2015.
Correct.
And the thing is,
they were they're comfortable. As you're saying, so they think they're number 1. They're comfortable. SGC, HGA, and CSG lick their lips. SGC wrote themselves off in the first week of the doors closing because they wanted to raise their prices up. So they wiped themselves out of the game by their own doing. This is the way it works. They had the opportunity, they wiped themselves out. They literally shot themselves in the foot. And it's now left the door open for HGA and CSG, and they are killing it. They're on Luca Tiger's Bronze podcast. They're on this thing. They're on that thing. They're doing transparent bloody IGTVs like HGA and that CEOs coming out answering like consumer questions.
I need some HDA slabs.
Bro,
I
like, come
need
on.
it. I've got that. Let me
Dude.
straight to Tyler right here. I got 5 right here.
He's got them ready. What do you got? What do you got?
Get
Show us.
me.
Show us.
I got
I want to see.
I got a Giannis Silver from this year that I just want to get slabbed anyway. I think
nice.
it looks
That's a sick card. Show us again.
Yeah.
Nice
Sorry,
card.
I didn't see it properly.
Giannis Silver from the pack
very
that
nice.
Cherry sent out.
Very nice.
LeBron.
Sorry about.
LeBron here.
Oh, that's sick. That card's sick.
And yeah, this one.
Is it base?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it?
It's base as well.
Yeah.
But then the big one that I want to get done properly, like I'll pay for the 10-day, is the Sun Purple out of 99.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's something in a coloured slab that'll look really well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get it? You'd get it coloured with the.
You get the colour match with. Don't get. This is the mistake I've seen people. On that one. That's right. Yeah. This is the mistake I've seen. People will get the team and then they put that white label at the top. You got to match it to the card, man.
That's right. So
I think base with team would be okay.
I would do team. These 3 all Lakers and Bucks colours, but this one you have to get card. And Saucy mentioned that. Like that's the way to do it. You got to match it. You got to pick which one you want. And there is one more that I have.
You're gonna be smart with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So nice, fellas. Nice. I didn't want to be a pessimist, but you know what has to be said. So, you know what? All good fires as well. Great pod. And thanks again to everyone that's going to view or listen to this. We appreciate your support. We love it. And keep bringing you sick content as much as we possibly can on all 3 of our accounts. Well, 4 if we include Saucy Collectibles, which we will. So we'll keep bringing you the great content. It has been myself with Luke, John, and Anthony. It's been crunch time. Coming up big when it counts. And peace.
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 Thank you for tuning